And DC vs. Vampires, issue number 6 is written by James Tynion IV and Matthew Rosenberg, with art by Otto Schmidt, Simone DeMeo, Daniel DiNicuolo, and Rex Locus, and letters by Tom Napolitano. And this issue begins with the Bat Family and Green Arrow regrouping after the assault at Wayne Manor, which left Batman injured. Nightwing is the last to arrive, of which he wonders where Batgirl is. She is, of course, with the Suicide Squad as she helps them fend off their vampiric comrades. Harley Quinn then informs Amanda Waller that she and Deadshot are not vampires, in which Waller sets off the head bombs of all the others, which includes Captain Boomerang, who wasn't actually infected. Back with the Bat Family and Green Arrow, they get on guard as Green Lantern and Wonder Woman enter, where a fight once again ensues. This time, however, Batman is properly prepared and hits Wonder Woman with large solar lights, which causes her to start burning, giving Batman enough time to tie her up with her own lasso. Green Lantern, of course, remains unaffected and confines everyone in one of his constructs before Alfred slices his arm off, rendering him powerless. It's then we get a brief page back with the Suicide Squad in which they discover the Joker is actually dead and not the King of Vampires as originally thought. Green Arrow around this time is asking Hal if there's anything of him left, of which Hal says yes, before Green Arrow plunges an arrow into Hal's heart, turning him to ash. At first, Batman tries to scold Green Arrow, but Green Arrow simply replies that until he has to kill one of his own, that he has no room to criticize him. Batman then receives Batgirl on the comms, who informs him that the Joker was a ruse, and they were set up by one of their own. Suddenly, Nightwing punches a hole in Batman, revealing he is in fact the King of Vampires. In a mix of both shock and anger, the others attack, but they are no match for Nightwing as he takes out each of them, even going as far as stomping on Tim's head and killing him. Damian rushes in to avenge his father, but Nightwing simply bites him. Jason then tries his hand at fighting Nightwing and manages to get the upper hand until Wonder Woman rushes in and bites him. They then attempt to turn Jason into a vampire, but Green Arrow kills him before he does. Nightwing then tells Wonder Woman to let them go, because now their time has come, as we see Superman destroying the White House and Firestorm burning a forest. All the remaining heroes can do is look on in horror as the skies darken with smoke, and thus beginning the eternal darkness. Well, that got dark pretty quick. Like, damn, I honestly did not see Nightwing coming out as the King of Vampires, because I mean, it's Nightwing, and you know, he's Batman's first sidekick, and he would never hurt Bruce, right? And not to mention, he passed all of Bruce's vampiric tests. But I gotta admit, I actually do like the reveal of how exactly he passed those tests and how he did manage to like stay out in the sunlight, and that was using Starfire's blood, because it turns out that ingesting her blood gives the vampire temporary immunity to sunlight and garlic and holy water and crosses, which also inadvertently answers a question I had about the previous issue, particularly with Superman being a vampire, because if he's a solar powered superhero and he's a vampire and stuck in eternal night and can't go out in the sun, recharge his batteries, eventually he would just lose his powers. But give him a little bit of Starfire's blood and yeah, he can just shoot on up there and get as close to the sun as he wants, and he's good for, you know, a little time. But still, just the reveal overall, I mean, it really did feel like that saying from Talia al Ghul in The Dark Knight Rises that, you know, it's the slow knife that takes its time and really gets there between the bones. That's the knife that cuts the deepest. I mean, Nightwing's just getting in there and he's just, you know, mowing down the entire Bat family, and I'm just sitting there like, no, I'm losing my family. Don't kill them all. And then he squishes Tim Drake's head like a grape and kills Damian. Jason puts up a good fight, however, so props to him. And I do like the dialogue that they were having back and forth, where Nightwing's just, oh yeah, dude, every time I fought you, I've always won. I'm just the better of us. But then Jason's all, well, actually, I've been holding back this whole time, and then proceeds to give Nightwing a run for his money. And honestly, had Wonder Woman not interfered and bitten Jason, he may have actually won. But of course, this is a 12-issue maxi series, and This is the halfway point, so we can't kill the king of vampires just yet. And yeah, this was definitely a major blow to the Bat family and stuff, because not only did they lose Batman and so many others, but the only ones to survive were Green Arrow, Cassie Cain, and Alfred, with Cassie Cain's right arm now broken, so she's gonna be down for a little bit. And then of course you get to the end where Nightwing's just like, the time of the vampires is upon us, and we see Superman just rain it down on the White House and blow it to pieces, and Constantine's Swamp Thing and Dr. Fate are standing by as the forests are getting burned. The smoke is rising to the sky and blotting everything out. If this were a movie, this would have been the part where you would have had the foreboding, dramatic music. Oh yeah, and I'd also give props to Alfred for chopping off Hal's arm. Once again, one of the most badass members of the Bat family, which, just because he doesn't wear a costume, people sometimes forget just how awesome he really is. And unlike Batman, who has a no-kill rule, Alfred doesn't subscribe to such niceties. My only real criticisms on this issue mostly had to do with the Suicide Squad sections. Not that the sections themselves were bad, they were honestly pretty good. Harley Quinn causing the death of Captain Boomerang was actually pretty funny and fairly in character, because much like the previous issue, the sections feel quite abrupt and almost comes across once again like it's meant to be a completely different issue, like tie-in for example. And to a degree, I think the Nightwing reveal might have even been more insane if we didn't know that one of the Bat family members was about to turn. Because when Batgirl did contact Batman, I was kinda getting ready for one of them to reveal themselves. It's a minor preferential nitpick, and I know most everyone's probably not going to feel that way. Now, when it comes to the art, I just gotta say one thing. Can we please just pick a style? I mean, when it comes to reading ongoing titles, I get it, sometimes the artists, they flip-flop between issues or so, but when I'm reading a maxi series, mini series, or some kind of event, I want the team to be consistent, because every time the artwork changes, it's just extremely jarring. And I said it in the previous video, and I'll say it again, I think that Simone DeMeo's art honestly should have been the art style of choice, because among all of the art styles, it does feel like it has the most dramatic weight to it. And hey, colors all across are great, and overall it's still an entertaining story. Stuff's getting darker, and the next issue will advance the vampire's plan. The only question is, can the remaining heroes recover in enough time to save the day, or will the entire world fall to the Vampire King and his army? And with that, I'm gonna score DC vs. Vampires, issue number 6, a 7.5 out of 10. So DC vs. Vampires, issue number 6. What did you think about this book if you've read it? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you like this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.